Hey everybody, welcome back to Movies Net. I'm your host Cody, and today we're going to kick off my discussion series on the book Taking Shape 2 by Dustin McNeill and Travis Mullins. So, if you're not familiar with the book, it is a giant book with all the lost and forgotten about Halloween sequels that were never made. And there were a lot of them. And based on the book as well, it seems like there were more out there that they just couldn't find information on or get the full story or picture or get in contact with the script writers themselves for. But there are a lot in here. So, what I'm going to be doing with this series is I'm going to go through chronological order, starting with Halloween 4, going all the way up to 2018. Um, with these lost sequels, with these scripts, with these screenplays, just do a discussion on them and just keep on going from there. So I'm going to be starting off here today with Halloween 4. We're going to be talking about three sequels that weren't made, all by different screenwriters. And just going to do a brief review on them, tell you my thoughts, which one I wish was made, and go from there. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and kick it off, and that's going to be with the first sequel, Halloween 4 Lost sequel that I read about, and that was with the Etchison script. Now, I actually have the book over here, so I'm going to be going not back and forth, but I forgot his first name. Dennis Etchison. So Dennis Etchison wrote this first script here, and this script was actually endorsed or supported by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, the original creators of Halloween and Michael Myers. Big reason why it was endorsed by them is because this script here, which we're going to find out and go through, didn't have a whole lot to do with Michael Myers being the central focus point of the movie. You might think like, okay, then how is it really a Halloween movie? Well, Myers is in this movie. He is mentioned, he does his thing, but it's pretty different than the actual Halloween 4 we got. So, really what the script focused around was Lindsay Wallace. She makes a return, and Tommy Doyle, but more on Lindsay Wallace and her family, especially her mother. So in Haddonfield, it's again 10 years later, 1988. Halloween's been banned since 1978. Haddonfield, the parents, the adults in Haddonfield want nothing to do with Halloween. They want to forget about what happened in 1978. And 1978, the events that happened, Michael Myers can never be talked about again, should never be talked about again. But there's this huge thing in the town. There is sort of a divide, though. You got some people that want Halloween to come back, and they don't think it's a big deal, and people should get over it. And time goes on, things of that nature. And then you have, like Lindsay Wallace's mom, who are just hell bent on keeping Halloween banned from Haddonfield for life, for eternity. So Lindsay Wallace actually, I guess her mother has made it so much that Lindsay doesn't even remember anything about 1978. So she doesn't even bring it up. She doesn't really mention it. But then we look at Tommy Doyle, who's more of, and they're teenagers now. Tommy Doyle was more of like a hard-headed teenage boy, right? Getting into trouble, doing things. But he's carrying that PTSD, he's carrying that trauma that happened to him in 1978. So it's kind of like a younger version of the Tommy Doyle that we get in Halloween 6, and I guess even as far as Halloween Kills. Just kind of his mindset and attitude towards what happened in 78 and surviving Michael Myers. So anyways, Loomis and Laurie Strode, they are not in this script. Loomis died at the hospital explosion in Halloween 2. That's made evident here. And it said Michael Myers died too. He's dead. So Myers and Loomis are dead. So you're probably asking yourself, okay, then how does Michael Myers make an appearance? Like, how does he fit into the script? Well, it's more like a ghost of Michael Myers from how this is explained. Um, Michael Myers just kind of appears, really, and he's focused on his house. Really, like he lives in there, and it's like, if I go back into the script here, sorry, I should have had this one written down, but now that I'm talking about it, do I don't know why I can't find it, but I believe that they go in. There's a character that goes into the Myers house, and they go up the stairs, and Myers is there, like he's getting ready for Halloween, like he's putting on his get up, his mask, clothes, not the coveralls, like he's wearing like a sweater, a dark coat, dark pants, but not like his get up from Halloween 1 and 2 and what we're used to with him with the coveralls. Still has a white mask. Again, no telling where he got any of this stuff or anything like that. He's just there. Kills the person that goes into the Myers house. He makes an appearance at a pumpkin patch and kills a girl there. And then he's just like sitting in his house waiting for Halloween night. So Halloween night does come about, and then he goes out and he's like, there's not a whole lot of killing in this. He's just kind of in the shadows. He's just makes an appearance and kills a couple of characters here and there. But with these deaths and stuff popping up, we then turn to Sheriff Brackett and who is Deputy Hunt, who is now Detective Hunt. So they see this stuff going. Hunt is fearing that it's a repeat of 10 years ago. Brackett's like, there's no way this, Myers is dead, this, that, and the other. So it's focused on them too, like trying to solve the mystery, find out what's going on, keep the town under control. But of course, that doesn't happen. Mrs. Wallace is freaking out over all this stuff. And then we get to the climax of the movie, which is at a drive-in. It's called the Lost River Drive-In. They're playing. They were, I guess, going to be playing like a Friday the 13th movie. Everybody's watching, and Myers just like shows up and just starts killing everybody at the drive-in. And I guess Lindsay Wallace and Tommy Doyle were there, and Myers is killing everybody. And here's where it gets kind of weird. And I don't know why they even did this, but cops show up, Brackett, Hunt show up. There's a huge shootout, and as they are pumping bullets into Myers, they're not affecting him in a negative way, like killing him. No, that's making Myers stronger. Myers grows in size to like 12 foot tall. He's huge. He's like Super Michael Myers. And people are freaking out, all this stuff. And somebody shoots a gas canister, I guess. It blows up and Myers vanishes. It's really just that. And no explanation with that. And then Tommy Doyle and Lindsay Wallace, like they made it out of like that whole thing. They're with each other and they're just kind of like like an Allison and Corey, like we're getting the hell out of Haddonfield, we're gone, no explanation, nothing like that at all. So that's where we're at with the Dennis Etchison script. John Carpenter loved it. He wanted it to be made, but he said in this book here, he said that the script was too intellectual for the producers. So a little shot at Akkad and Trancas there. But he thought it was a great script. He liked the more supernatural fantasy vibe, and that makes sense given where John Carpenter was in the 80s, the types of movies he was making in the 80s that were, kind of similar, like Prince of Darkness, for example. That's a big one that comes to mind, They Live. So, I'm not surprised he liked this, but he also didn't want anything to do with Michael Myers anymore. So he wanted just really to keep Myers in the background in this movie. He liked that, and making him as supernatural as possible. So yeah, so that's the Dennis Etchison script. So yeah, so the second one here, this one is funny in my opinion. It's a handful. All right, it's kind of more like a parody in a sense. So that's the Medina and Kenny script, and think of this one as like the MTV Halloween. All right, because that's really what it is. So the story really focuses on Laurie Strode. 10 years later, she's living a new life in Chicago. She's an editor of an entertainment magazine. She's covering rock stars and things like that. Big life, rich with a successful husband. They have a daughter together. So yeah, that's the premise here. So let's do the lead up to everything. It starts off with the end of Halloween 2. Loomis and Myers both survive here. Loomis gets taken to the hospital, and for whatever reason, they decided to put Myers on a stretcher, hook him up to a helicopter, and life flight him, not inside the helicopter, but hanging, dangling from the helicopter to Chicago. Well, they're flying over Lake Michigan to Chicago. The cable on the stretcher connected to the helicopter breaks. Myers goes falling and plunging into Lake Michigan. Never to be heard from, never to be seen again. All right. So, and hold on here. Looks like I'm out of focus. Yeah, one sec. Oh, there we go. All right, we're back in. So, yeah. So then we fast forward to 10 years later, get introduced to Laurie, her family, what she does. We come to find out that she's seen a psychiatrist who is actually Dr. Loomis. So Dr. Loomis is trying to actually really make her remember what happened in 1978 because Laurie has, I guess, suppressed those memories and has pretty much forgotten about it, but not really, because she still does have, I guess, like nightmares and trauma and things like that related to it, which Loomis is trying to help her get past. Anyways, Michael does his thing. He shows up out of nowhere like he does best. There's no like how he got out of the lake, the investigation into the stretcher falling from the helicopter. There's no mention of that really. So Myers shows up and he ends up going to this rock star's house. And it's actually a rock star that Laurie was going to be covering. He's a big Chicago rock star, whatever it may be. Breaks into the rock star's house. Myers kills the groupie that he was with. Kills the rock star. So no story happening there. And here's where it starts getting funny. Where it's kind of already funny how we... Anyways... Myers takes his clothes, the rock star's clothes, which is a leather getup, a black leather outfit, puts it on, leather gloves and all, puts his white mask on. So we got a rock star Myers. Think of it that way. 80s leather clothing. Then Myers goes and picks up the rock star's car keys, which is a Porsche 927, I believe. Flees, and even on the license plate of the Porsche, it's like one maniac is on the license plate. So anyways, Myers leaves, and he is like flying down the highway doing like 160 miles an hour, swerving in and out of traffic, like driving around. He's trying to find Laurie Strode. He knows Laurie's somewhere in Chicago. He's going downtown. He's just driving reckless, gets into an accident. And yes, this isn't an accident according to the script. He did not plan this. He was going to, again, flying through downtown Chicago, makes a turn too fast, spins out of control, and ends up wiping into a bunch of people that are standing outside a movie theater, killing a bunch of people right there. And like he flees. But what's funny about it is the people were lining up to see Halloween 4. So it's a little meta there. So, come to find out that Myers has been stalking Lori as well during this time, has actually been in Lori's house, knows who her daughter is. Lori figures this out because she was taking pictures, sees a picture of Myers in the background. She knows he's there. All these memories come back. Loomis finds out that he's there as well. So Myers is after Lori and her daughter. Final battle takes place at Lori's house. Loomis comes trying to fly to the scene. He ends up like wrecking his van or whatever, or truck, into a bunch of telephone poles that cause a blackout in the area. But he ends up arriving. He arrives late. So whole battle comes down. It ends with Myers getting pushed into a pole shot into a pole and gets electrocuted from falling telephone lines. And that's what happens. Myers gets electrocuted and he's done. So, yeah. And I guess, why that wasn't made. I didn't like that at all. I mean, it was too over the top, too unserious. And honestly, I would have thought, I wouldn't have want that movie to be made, but if it was made, I could go back and watch it just as much as I do probably. Just reading about it, I'd be like, it's just bizarre. It's just, a balls to the wall type of movie. So, yeah, I think it's a fun one. But I guess also, too, Jamie Lee Curtis was done with Halloween and done with horror at that point in her life. She was becoming a big actress there in the 80s. So the script did have to be adjusted, and they put the main focus on Laurie's daughter, who's being babysit by her aunt, and her aunt becomes like the new Laurie and the protector and the final girl, but Myers is going after the daughter. Sounds familiar, right? That's what we get in the actual Halloween 4, and that's actually going to be in the next script here that we talk about, which is the Shem Bitterman script. So the Shem Bitterman script that we get for Halloween 4 is the closest to the Halloween 4 we actually got. The reason actually behind that is because Alan McElroy, who was the writer of the Halloween 4 that we got, actually used a good portion of the Bitterman script because I guess like a COD and whatnot, they liked what Bitterman wrote here. But they wanted some rewrites. They wanted some things done differently. So that's where McElroy came in and actually put together the Halloween 4 that we got. But a lot of elements that Bitterman put into the script, as I'm going to talk about, was transferred over. And that's really where we got Rachel and Jamie from. So the Bitterman script is a more toned down version of Michael Myers and Halloween. So it starts off, actually I'm going back here 1 second. There's a lot here. All right. So yes, it starts off just kind of like the Halloween 4 we get. Myers is in a psychiatric institute. He is in Reading Center for Severe Psychiatric Disorders. It's actually in Smith's Grove, but it doesn't say it's Smith's Grove. So we know in the Halloween 4 we get, he's in Ridgemont. So it's really focused on Amanda Hatch, which is the Jamie Lloyd in this script. Amanda is Laurie's daughter, just like Jamie is. And she's in with foster parents, just like the Carruthers, except it is Linda. Yeah, Linda is the Rachel in this one. So this is the closest one we actually get. There's a lot of parallels in here. For example, if I could just read here. Yeah, so instead of like a prison transfer or a patient transfer, they're like doing tours through the psychiatric place, and they kind of show Myers off like he's like a zoo animal in a sense. Really, that's like what's what's going on. And then one of the doctors mentions how Michael has still living family, aka Amanda, in Haddonfield. Myers hears this and he kind of wakes up from his coma. So he survived, him and Loomis both survived Halloween 2. That is mentioned here. So both survived. So it's like, again, how the ambulance guy in the Halloween 4 that we got mentions Jamie Lloyd, and that wakes Myers up and he attacks. The same thing happens here. So go ahead and just want to move a little bit forward. Whoop. Yep. So Myers breaks out of the hospital just like he does in the original from Smith's Grove. Steals keys from nurses that he kills. Steals the keys and gets out of there, and then comes across a preacher, just like Reverend Sayer. So this is where we're getting these characters from. The Reverend just thinks this Michael's just a hitchhiker, picks him up, and starts driving to Haddonfield. And I guess he's playing like gospel music, and this guy's drunk too. Michael can't stand the gospel music, actually destroys the radio and shit like that. Kind of pisses the guy off, and finally Michael kills the Reverend and steals his clothes. So we have 3 different looks of Myers in these 3 scripts. We have him kind of just looking like a hobo type in a way, kind of like in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. We have a leather get-up Michael Myers in the Medina and Kenny script. And then in this one, he is dressed up in a preacher's outfit. So like a long kind of robe with the white collar and everything like that. I even think he had the cross on there or not. I'm not sure. I don't think it said that, but that's how he looked, like a preacher. In a way, it kind of thinks of, and I know Pinhead in Hellraiser doesn't really look like a preacher, but from the way that they described it, like that's the type of outfit minus all the leather shit that he would look like. So that's very interesting. 3 different looks, and that would have been pretty creepy. So it really goes around, and Amanda, like, she has this connection with Myers. Myers is still her uncle in this one, just like Jamie is, but she has more of a connection where she doesn't think that her uncle is as bad as he actually is. She feels bad for him, wants to meet him, loves him, things like that. She gets teased by kids at school for having the Uncle Boogeyman. Again, that's where we get that in the other Halloween 4 that we get. So Myers gets back. He starts doing his killings and things like that, and starts going after Amanda. Loomis comes back to town, and we get Brackett in this one as well, and is just like, listen, Michael's back. We need to work together to avoid a repeat of what happened. So pretty similar, except it's Brackett and not Meeker, right? So they do everything they can to protect Amanda. Amanda is, again, insisting, Michael's not bad, my uncle's not bad. Linda, her sister, which is the Rachel in this one, understands the situation and goes into protection mode and things like that. So so I'm just going. Yeah, so, and actually before that, I glanced over something. Before that, Amanda, they were out trick-or-treating. Amanda goes to the Myers house, and she's like hiding from Linda. Linda's trying to get her back. They go down to the Myers house basement where they get attacked by Myers. Myers is there. He was waiting for them. Attacks them. And Amanda gets into Michael Myers' childhood clown costume, which is for whatever reason was still there. So she dresses up as a clown in actual young Myers clown costume, not the one that she got from the store. This is the real deal here. So Myers attacks Linda and Amanda. Linda rescues Amanda. They get out of there, and then that's when they get picked up by Brackett and Loomis. Um, and during this whole time too, Loomis and Brackett come in encounter multiple Myers, who again they were just kids doing the prank and things like that. That's again where we got that. So they have a plan to stash Amanda outside of town in a cabin, which Myers overhears. Myers then goes to the cabin to um, kill Amanda, and he kills police officers there. And let me see. Yeah. So sorry, I have to keep going back and forth and looking back at this, but they um Linda attacks Myers to save Amanda, and then Amanda gets pissed that Linda did that for whatever reason. Amanda just for some reason in this script it's like she's just so attached to Myers, no matter what he does, he's fine, right? Um, so um, so then Myers attacks Linda. Linda goes unconscious, and that's for whatever reason triggers Amanda to like say, "Oh no, you're bad. You hurt my foster sister here. You're bad. You're never gonna be my uncle." Which is like really, I don't know, it's so weird. Like all the stuff that was going on, she couldn't see that before, but as soon as Myers hurts her foster sister, that's when she snapped out of it. Um, so Myers is getting ready to kill Amanda, and he has her like start reenacting the way that um, Judith was before he killed her. So he has her sit down in front of this mirror and starts brushing her hair and things like that. And he's going to fricking kill Amanda. Well, Linda awakes. She's all hurt and whatnot. However, she starts calling for Michael. And Michael turns around now. Linda's sitting there acting like Judith, brushing hair and starts like unbuttoning her blouse to, again, make Myers think that, oh, actually, no, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to kill Judith, because that's what he was trying to reenact and get back to. At least this is what the script makes it feel like. Um, Goes to kill Linda, and then that's when Linda gets her with a pair of scissors. And I apologize for that little notification there. Um, right into Myers' throat. Myers goes down. Loomis breaks into the cabin and shoots Myers as well. And Myers is down for the count. Um, so yeah. Um, with that being said, it's Loomis is like, listen, tells Amanda like he's dead. He's not coming back. He's not going to get you. Um, and then Amanda walks over to Myers, is on the ground, um, goes to take off the mask, takes off the mask, and it's like a picture of, or not a picture, it's Myers' face as a child, but his eyes open up, strangles Amanda, but then Amanda wakes up and it was all a dream. Um, and yeah, so that's where that goes. There's no like true, like what actually happened to Michael after that. There's no like talk about that. But it was kind of left to be like that, so you could kind of easily pick up with a sequel after that. That was the whole plan. So we don't know if it really was a dream or if it was real. But yeah. So that's the Bitterman script. This is the script that I actually liked a lot more, and sorry for my back and forth there because I was got the book over here I had some notes, but there's some things that I left out as I started talking about this and remembering it. But yeah, I like the Bitterman script a lot. This is pretty much the template that was used by McElroy to get the Halloween 4 that we got. Amanda and Linda became Rachel and Jamie. Pretty much the same premise there, with Michael and Loomis both surviving, Michael being in another psychiatric institute, coming out of his coma once he realizes he has family back in Haddonfield, going back to Haddonfield, doing his thing, killing, chasing Amanda, chasing Linda, but Linda outsmarting Myers to save Amanda, Loomis coming in also to help save the day, shooting Myers, and then, that's that. So, interesting scripts. I'm happy with the Halloween 4 we got. Halloween 4 is my third favorite Halloween movie out of the whole franchise. So I don't think any of these three would have gotten there. Maybe the last one here, maybe the Spiderman script would have been in the top 5 too, but definitely not the other two. Did not like the first one with the Etchison script. Super Myers, him being a ghost and like this 12-foot monster at the end, like, I'm not for that. I didn't really even like the whole thing we got with Mrs. Wallace and the fear of Halloween, the fear of Myers. Just no, not me. The Medina and Kenny script, like I said, that would have been a fun time. I wouldn't have mind going back and watching that every now and then. I would have had fun with that one, but it wasn't a serious Halloween film, nor a serious, Michael Myers film. Kind of makes him a joke in a sense. And also, too, with Jamie Lee Curtis, she wasn't going to do it. That story just with the aunt protecting Laurie's daughter, which, again, is kind of like what we got, but I don't know. There just really wasn't a lot there. Because it's pretty much the same movie, except just with the aunt now. I don't know. So yeah, like the Bitterman script the best, but like the Halloween 4 that we got. So that's it, guys. I did ramble a lot there, but and went back and forth, so I apologize there. But if you liked what you watched, of course, like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell notification because I'm going to be doing this with more. I'm going to be talking about Halloween 5 next. We got a couple Halloween 6 scripts, and we're going to be going up from there. So again, thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your day, and see you soon.